Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm doing a movie review on the Odyssey, so let's begin with this review. Christopher Nolan's latest blockbuster epic is nothing short of thrilling to put it into words. This film proves once again as an example that each of his films are consistently peak cinema. I mean, it's not wrong of me to say that he only directs peak, is it? It was also my first Nolan film in the cinema, and of course we all know that he likes to use IMAX cameras for his films, so when seen in the big screen, it's a cinematic treat. Beginning with my positives as always, the plot revolves around Odysseus, king of Ithaca, who embarks on a perilous journey to return home after the Trojan War. Crossing the Mediterranean Sea with his fellow soldiers, they soon find themselves battling not only the elements, but an array of deadly obstacles and mythical features along the way. I didn't actually know that this film was based on a poem until after I watched it, which I found pretty interesting. Turns out the poem is actually one of the oldest surviving works of literature and remains popular with modern audiences. Well, helps obviously because of this movie, but it was written around the 8th or 7th century BC. That's some time ago. That's probably, what, a good 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Every bit of action in this film felt genuine and in a sense realistic to me, which I love. This for the most part well choreographed in this film to watch, especially the sword fights. I mean, that last 30 minutes of the film being an example where Matt Damon just solos everyone, he's locked in, and then being the goat he is, just took on everyone and still won. The camera work, also well shaky at times, honestly fits the nature of this film, so for the most part I'm okay with it. And then came the monsters. Maybe I was the only one, and I can admit I'm a bit stupid for this, especially with the film inheriting elements of classic Greek mythology, but the monsters and creatures came as a surprise. I was not expecting them at all in this film, so when that Cyclops came bursting into the cave, out of nowhere, I have to be honest with you guys, I kind of shat myself. I was pretty scared. But yeah, the Cyclops, along with some other creatures in this film, including the Scylla and Charybdis, Laestrygonians, and Circe. Forgive me for my horrible pronunciation. That was probably like the worst pronunciation attempted of those names. But we're all very intriguing, basically, to watch their own parts of the film. I mean, take a look at Circe, for example. The witch, who later turned all of Ulysses' men into bloody pigs. Freaking pigs. She shoved fingers down their throats, and then somehow turned them into pigs. It was honestly, probably not the most pleasing scene to watch in the cinemas, that one. The film also already sets itself a strong foundation of its plot, action, features and director, but what also takes this film up so high to the next level for me is the cast. And what a big cast this film has indeed. I mean, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, John Leguizamo surely speaks for itself. Matt Damon plays our main lead, Odysseus, who spends the entire film pretty much trying to get home. Tom Holland plays Odysseus' son, Telemachus, who's desperate to maintain the throne for his father throughout the film as well as finding him. Zendaya plays Athena, the goddess of wisdom, of course, and Anne Hathaway plays Penelope, Odysseus' wife and Telemachus' mother, who's the current queen of Ithaca. Robert Pattinson plays Antinous, probably the most annoying character in this film, so there you go. And John Leguizamo, I think that's, if you pronounce his name, it might be wrong, probably is wrong, plays Emis, I think, a blind servant loyal and faithful to Odysseus. Lupita Nyong'o, Charlize Theron, and John Bernthal also stars their retrospective roles, so it's a pretty big cast to say the least, and for me, one of the main reasons what makes this film so good, or at least a big factor of it. The film is also visually stunning as you expect, with big and breathtaking set pieces capturing that Greek and ancient feel, which has that cinematic story depth to it as well, you know, exploring the heavy psychological effects of war, consequences, and personal transformation, which is finished off with a nice balanced inclusion of that Greek mythology aspect as mentioned earlier. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of themes and messages in this film. It's not just that, you know, aspect of Greek mythology, but there's also like hidden meanings as well. Probably stuff that I didn't catch, if I'm being honest, that first time round. So if I watch it again, I might catch more stuff. And you'd think for a film like this, there wouldn't be very much negatives, if not any. But whilst it's still a fantastic film, even a film like this has one or two things picky about it. And the only really main one for this film, to be honest, that I can even think of is that runtime. Yes, I can understand a film like this does need to be long for a story to be told, but I personally don't really see the need for it to be pushing the 3-hour mark because it is edging that. It's 2 hours 53 if you want to be specific, but it does feel like 3 hours. A runtime of 2.5 or 2 hours 20 I think would have been perfect. And you might find that stupid, it's literally only like a half an hour difference. Well, trust me, in a film like this, half an hour feels a lot of difference, and aside from the runtime, maybe some dialogue scenes could have been shortened down and simplified because some parts of their dialogue, I could not really grasp what they were saying. I don't know, maybe it's just me being stupid with my dumb brain, but the dialogue seemed hard to understand at times, as long as the runtime. But other than that, they're the only two really negatives, I guess you could call them, that I had of this film. Yes, I could also say the first part of the film, maybe the first act started off slow, but as the film progressed, it got better. It happens with a lot of films, honestly. Sometimes films need to start off slow and then they get better. I've noticed that with a lot of films. As they gradually progress, they start, like, you know, getting more comfortable with it, and then it starts to get better towards the end. This film, I wouldn't say it was super slow. It was a wee bit slow maybe at the start, but for the most part, I felt like it was evenly paced. throughout its runtime it had. So overall though, this film speaks for itself, definitely. I would confidently say that as of right now, this is the best film of the year so far. I'm confident in saying that. This is definitely my favourite film of the year so far, and personally probably the best film I would say of the year so far. That could possibly well change, or very well possibly change, when Avengers Doomsday releases in December. I will say this for now, it is the best film of the year. For now, okay? And the prime example of why, once again, Christopher Nolan is the director he is, and why he's one of the current best that is in the business. And it's just also a straight and following cinematic experience right from start to finish, literally. So, yeah, this film, for me, it's safe to say, definitely is my favourite of the year so far. And that is a statement. That's a genuine statement. That's saying something as well. That film must be good for it to be this high up in my list. Last year's film for me, best, my personal favourite was F1. And that was something I wasn't expecting it actually to even be in my top five. So the fact that things can change really quickly just shows how good films and how, unexpected films can be nowadays. But anyways, yes. The Odyssey received an easy 4.5 out of 5 stars from me and a 9 out of 10. That is something I saw coming right before I even watched the film. Like, just judging by the trailers and stuff and having a look at the trailers, I knew this film was going to score pretty high with me, and I was happy to let myself know and you guys know that I was right. So, yeah, Odyssey, great film, fantastic film. Very happy to have watched the cinemas. A very cinematic experience. As always, thank you for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. But until next video, bye bye.